Consistency is often described as the secret ingredient behind every success story, yet its power is not always fully understood. Many people chase motivation, hoping for bursts of energy and inspiration that will carry them through difficult tasks. But motivation, by its very nature, is fleeting. It arrives unexpectedly, and just as quickly, it can vanish. If you rely solely on motivation, you will find progress to be erratic, unpredictable, and often disappointing. The real engine of achievement is daily discipline, the unwavering commitment to show up, put in the work, and advance, even when you don't feel like it. Without this discipline, motivation becomes little more than a temporary spark, incapable of igniting lasting change. Imagine a young man named Daniel. In his early 20s, Daniel was passionate about writing. He dreamed of publishing a novel, of seeing his name on the cover of a book, of inspiring others with his words. The vision was clear in his mind, and the excitement was palpable. He would spend hours envisioning the story, crafting characters in his imagination, and scribbling ideas in his notebook. Motivated by this dream, Daniel would occasionally sit at his desk and write for hours, the words flowing effortlessly, creativity at its peak. But then, weeks would pass without a single sentence written. Life would get busy, doubts would creep in, and his motivation would wane. The vision remained, but the progress stalled. One day, Daniel stumbled upon an interview with a renowned author who revealed that she wrote every single day, whether she felt inspired or not. The author explained that discipline was the foundation of her success, not bursts of motivation. Intrigued, Daniel decided to experiment with daily discipline. He set a modest goal: write 500 words every day, no matter his mood, schedule, or inspiration. On some days, the words flowed smoothly. On others, writing felt like a chore, each sentence forced onto the page. Yet, Daniel persisted. He wrote on busy days, on tired days, on days when his mind seemed blank. He wrote through self-doubt and through moments of triumph. Weeks turned into months, and something remarkable began to happen. Daniel's writing improved. His story took shape, his characters grew richer, and the novel he had envisioned for years was finally coming to life. There were no dramatic breakthroughs or lightning bolts of inspiration, just the steady accumulation of effort. The dream that had always seemed distant was now within reach. All because Daniel had traded the unreliable fuel of motivation for the steady power of daily discipline. The lesson in Daniel's journey is one that echoes across all fields of endeavor. Whether you aspire to write a novel, build a business, master a skill, or transform your health, consistency is the key that unlocks progress. Daily discipline is not glamorous. It often feels mundane, repetitive, and thankless. There will be days when you feel uninspired, days when you question your commitment, days when you wonder if your efforts matter. These are the moments that define your journey. Motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going. Consider the story of Maya, a high school student with dreams of attending a top university. The competition was fierce, and the academic demands were overwhelming. Maya was motivated. She wanted to make her family proud. She wanted to prove herself. She wanted a better future. But motivation alone was not enough to carry her through endless assignments, late-night study sessions, and tough exams. Recognizing this, Maya developed a routine. She studied for 2 hours every evening, regardless of her motivation. She set aside time for revision, for practice tests, for reviewing feedback. It was hard work, and there were many nights when Maya felt exhausted, tempted to skip her routine. Yet she persevered. The results were not instantaneous. There were setbacks and disappointments along the way. But over time, Maya's daily discipline yielded progress. Her grades improved, her confidence grew, and she began to see the fruits of her labor. When the acceptance letter finally arrived, Maya realized that her success was not the result of a single moment of inspiration, but the cumulative impact of countless disciplined actions. This principle applies not just to academics or creative pursuits, but to every aspect of life. In fitness, for example, results come not from a single intense workout fueled by a rush of motivation, but from showing up day after day, even when progress feels slow. In relationships, trust and connection are built through consistent acts of kindness, not grand gestures performed once in a while. In business, growth comes from the steady grind, the daily decisions, the commitment to excellence, even when the spotlight is elsewhere. The world tends to celebrate big achievements, the winning goal, the breakthrough product, the published bestseller. But behind every headline, every moment of glory, lies a foundation of consistent effort. The athletes who lift trophies have trained relentlessly, often in obscurity, through pain and fatigue. The entrepreneurs who build empires have weathered setbacks, made sacrifices, and put in countless hours when no one was watching. The artists who create masterpieces have practiced their craft, honed their skills, and pushed through creative blocks. It is easy to be inspired by these stories, to feel a surge of motivation after hearing them. But true change comes when you translate inspiration into discipline. Set a goal, make a plan, and commit to daily action. Start small if you must. A few lines written, a short workout, a single act of kindness. Track your progress, celebrate your consistency, and forgive yourself when you falter. Success is not about perfection, but about persistence. Remember, motivation is like the wind. Sometimes it blows strong, sometimes it barely stirs the air. Discipline is like the sun. It rises every day, unwavering, dependable. If you make discipline your foundation, you will weather the storms of doubt and distraction. You will keep moving forward, even when motivation fades. And in time, you will discover that consistency has a power all its own. A quiet, unstoppable force that transforms dreams into reality. So as you pursue your goals, honor the power of consistency. Trust in the process, commit to daily discipline, and let your actions speak louder than your intentions. The journey will not always be easy, but every step you take will bring you closer to the life you envision. In the end, it is not motivation, but discipline that shapes your destiny.